All right. Take like 15 or 20. I don't know. This has been a nightmare. I'm going crazy over here. Trying to record a simple video. Am I ready? Probably not. But I'm going to do this shit anyways. What I want to do is everybody's going crazy talking about this Renee Nicole Good shooting. Sorry I had to read it. I haven't memorized her name. I should by now. As many videos as I've seen and as much as she's all over my social media. This is just, and I literally am learning to do this screen record thing just to make this video. Just to make this video. As you can see from my beautiful background, I've got a cardboard box in the back. I take a lot of time into this, appreciate this. But with all the stuff that's going on about this, I figured, man, I can give my 2 cents. I've got some experience in this field, so let's go for it. Let's go for it. All right, so we're gonna go start at the original. I don't know if anybody needs to hear the backstory of this. ICE officer shot this lady. You got one half of the planet going crazy, saying it was murder and that ICE needs to be wiped off the whole, Minneapolis, and all these politicians are just talking stupid shit, and the media is going crazy, and people on my social media are even crazier. I'm just like, how could you? But then again, what you got to take into fact is most people have zero type of law enforcement experience, and they don't understand. But, well, you know what? I'll get to that. I'll get to all that. Let's just start watching this video, okay? This is the original video that, everybody started going crazy with, okay? So, whoa, I started that a little too late. Okay, so, good warning. All right. So, looks like this officer here decided, hey, it's go time. We're going to go ahead and detain this individual. She's got her reverse lights on here, you can see. Looks like she's absolutely ready to flee. Let it roll. Okay. No! Tries for the doorknob, doesn't get it. We got officer shooter here at the front of the vehicle. Looks like he's there to back up his boy. Okay. Boom. Shots fired. Alright, so that's pretty crazy, and it looks pretty bad on all accounts, on everybody's account. I don't know who this person is yelling and screaming in the background, but they're obnoxious too. Alright. So let's just back it up again. Alright. We're gonna take handle. Okay. Boom, boom. It looks like she is driving the vehicle directly into that ICE agent, which 100% seems to be a justified shoot. Now, just from that alone, it looks like, just this video alone. I mean, if you look, you see his leg here. You see his hand on his gun, but she had already took her car out of reverse and put it into drive. So it looks like he's kind of like, hey man, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't run. Don't do it. And it looks like he's almost tried to be canted off to the side and not directly in front of the car, but very unfortunate circumstance here. She hit the gas pedal. You look at the back of the car, how the back of the car is lowered now. That's a direct indication that she hit the throttle there. Alright, you see that? Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Now, let's see. Let's take a look at the surveillance video, which this one's a little bit longer, and I feel like this is, there we got a lot of activity going on. It's like there's a tree blocking the view. There's a vehicle that left the scene. I believe that's an ICE vehicle. It looks like, to me, it kind of looks like some people are kind of on the, let's just get out of here. We have shit to do. All right. This is the officer's shooter right here. He's still engaging with her. And then his boy comes up. Right here. His boy comes up. All right. And he comes back over to back his boy up. She hits the gas. And I mean, that car is moving. Now, you could say initially, like, oh, what was she doing, like 3 miles an hour? Like, the car only builds momentum. And if, say, he gets caught or whatever, falls down, I mean, if he would have like lost his balance or whatever, this might have been a whole different type of story. To be honest, this could have been a whole different situation. You could have been watching the news about an ICE officer that got drugged 40 or 50 feet or 100 feet, and if his people didn't shoot her at that point, then I don't know. From what I've heard about this guy, he had an interaction with the vehicle before. It went pretty badly. Let's watch this one more time. I don't know how to slow this stuff down. You just have to bear with it. Growing pains. Deal with it. Back to his vehicle. She's not shutting the fuck up. He's like, we're gonna get the fuck out of the car. He's like, okay, I'm gonna back my boy up here. Boom, almost gets, I don't know if he does get hit or almost gets hit right there. It's hard to tell right there. But you could definitely see that the vehicle's moving towards him. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and end this one. All right. Now let's go to the cell phone video. This is probably the best right here. This literally is probably what's going to, like, get him out of like trouble or okay, so here we go. Gets out of his vehicle. He's already got a cell phone recording. So in my mind that tells me that he's probably just collecting information at this point. He's not really engaging too much. However, one time he already walks in front of the vehicle, which is already bad, right? She talks some shit. Not really hostile, but still. Alright, gets the plate, alright?
We don't change our plates every
Gets the
morning.
plate number. I don't know if I should bother covering that because every video already shows that.
Wait, when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen.
Okay. So, crosses the front of the vehicle one time. Says something. She acknowledges he's there. Alright.
That's okay. We don't
He
change our
gets the
plates
plate
every
number.
morning.
This is one of the most important pieces right here.
Right when you come talk
Is
to
that
us
he's getting
later.
that plate number. Because that just says to me that there's a possibility that they were willing to kind of like let this go and then deal with it another time, which is not real uncommon, especially if you got more pressing things to deal with. Just some loudmouth Karens. So let's keep going here. She's got her phone in his face. He's got his and hers. Goes to his vehicle. This is where things are about to really everybody's life is about to change
I say go
right
get
here.
yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead. Out the car.
Gives him some dieting advice. Alright. Okay, so back to this again. Now. Oof. Okay. That's really hard to say. I don't know. Okay. You could tell by his reaction that he was not expecting her to hit the gas. He was like, oh, you know, I absolutely do not think that he anticipated her hitting the gas. I think that, well, there's a few things here. There's a few things from my perspective First off, this right here is an absolute no-go zone. I know this from my experience because I have been to the principal's office several times, reviewing video. Why were you in front of the car? What can, and I'm like, I've gotten in trouble about it so many times. However, I've gotten in trouble about it. I've never faced any like serious consequences. I've been pretty lucky, I would say, over my career. But this guy, not so much. I mean, this is his second vehicle interaction that I know of. Now, does it make it illegal? No. I don't believe that it makes it illegal for an officer to be in front of a vehicle, especially after they decided that they're going to detain. Now, this is one of the parts right here that's probably most telling. See, you can see his boy already. He's had enough of this shit. Okay. Now, I've seen this before. From my own experience. There's a point where they get to where like, we're gonna move this along one way or another, all right? We're gonna go ahead and detain this person in this vehicle. This guy right here, he's done. Now once he, yeah, I don't think it shows right here. Well, I want to say this is about the point where he actively goes to grab the handle on that vehicle. Once he's made the contact like that, it's go time. All right, it is go time. That means all hands on deck. That means that anybody that's there on scene, you are going to help me. We're going to detain this person. Whatever, by whatever force we need to do, she's going in handcuffs. The decision has been made right at that point. I don't know whether this guy was a supervisor or something or what his position was, but it looked like he made the decision. Like, we're going hands on. We're gonna take this girl in. So once he did that, I believe Officer Shooter here, I don't think we've got any of the names. I don't know if we got any of the names of these ICE people yet, but he's coming over here to back his boy up. And here's another thing right here.
U.S. citizen.
U.S. citizen. All right. I heard that plenty of times. All right.
I said go get yourself some lunch.
Okay.
Go ahead. Out the car.
So he said, get the fuck out of the car. All right. Now look, she looks dead ass at him right here. She's looking dead ass at him. At this point, to me, it seems like she acknowledges. She's looking right at him. She's acknowledged and made the decision that she's okay. She's going to hit the gas whether she's going to hit this officer or not. And that alone, that's a bad call. That's never going to end well for anyone. Whether she did hit this officer and run him over or drag him or whatever, if his backup doesn't do something about it, then there's a good chance she's dead anyways. There's a very good chance. Except for the fact that if they did kill her and for whatever reason dead weight on the gas pedal, that might have put him in more. I don't know. These things happen so fast. But the end of the day, in this split second, almost from this point, which is, okay, let's see if we can count how many seconds it is. 1. It's like 3 seconds, maybe. I'd say maybe 3 seconds from that point where he was like directly in front of that car. Yeah, from about this point, you're looking at probably like 2 to 3 seconds. And in that amount of time, you're trying to process so much information. your brain goes into like fight or flight mode, and you're going to resort back to your most basic levels of training. And in his case, vehicle against human, I'm going to I would have had probably most likely had my firearm drawn as well. I don't know if I would have took the shot, because I don't know how imminent of danger he was in, or how you can't say the amount of danger he felt like he was in. Everybody's perception might be just a little bit different when you're looking at this vehicle right here. The engine's running, the tires start screeching towards you. This is your position. What are you going to do? You got probably like a 2-ton vehicle. It's going to come at you. It's either going to run you over, it could catch you, it could drag you, it could just knock you out of the way. I don't really know. We don't know what was going through his head in this second. And I guarantee you, if you had to put 100 people in this situation, they would go with straight lizard mode too. So, this is very unfortunate for a lot of reasons. One, that there was loss of life, period. That's really sad. She has a kid. Very hard thing to deal with. From an officer's perspective, he had to take a life. I'm sure it's not sitting well with him. He has to deal with this, process this on his own. I don't know if he will have a career with ICE anymore. But it's very unfortunate. I'm trying to think. My notes are terrible, and I can barely read my own handwriting. So what the f? There's other points that I was gonna try to make, but I'm drawing a blank right now. But yeah, my perspective, clean shoot. Could he have done other things? Yes, maybe. I don't know. It's really hard to say. It's really hard to say in that exact moment. The one thing I can say is, the more serious a situation is, especially if it's life-threatening, the more your brain goes into almost like that fight or flight mode, that almost panic. They call it, the humans, there's a theory that humans have 3 levels of thinking. You have when shit pops off, when shit really pops off, you first go into your lizard brain, and that's where you just scatter and you kind of freak out and you're just reacting, right? There's almost zero cognitive ability going on. You're literally resorting to your most basic instincts. And if you've done training, vehicle situations, active shooter, those type of things, you'll hopefully that's what you resort to, and that's why they train so much, is that when you're put in those situations, it's just instinctive, because sometimes that's all you're acting on. Then your second brain is your monkey brain. Now your monkey brain is like, you're going to have a little more cognitive thought. You're kind of still catching and processing information, but you're not still fully there. It's like literally, it's like empty tank, half tank, and then your full tank. And you go, and then you got your human brain when you finally get a chance to fully come to your senses. And in combat situations, you go lizard brain, monkey brain a lot. And that's just kind of where I'm sitting at with that. Now I'm hoping that, now he's probably not going to have his job. I don't know if he's going to have a job with ICE anymore. Probably be on like a paid leave for a while until they make that decision. As far as legal stuff, I can't see that he'll ever be prosecuted for something like this. Seems like a pretty clean shoot. He might face some disciplinary action for being in front of the vehicle. I don't know how his department works. I know I would for sure, but that does not make him criminally liable for this incident. It looked like no matter what, once that officer reached for the door, his partner, once he reached for that door, he was therefore making contact and engage in an act of arrest or detainment. So once he did that, basically that decision had been made, and she was going to go in handcuffs at that point. Maybe they were gonna give her a chance to to flee or whatever. I don't know. But it looks like they were kind of prepared for that. It looked like they were kind of prepared to, if she did flee, are they gonna chase her? Probably not. I don't see why. They had her information. They can go get her at another time. And it kind of looks like that's what this shooter originally was doing. It looked like he was kind of collecting data, collecting information, profiling the vehicle, profiling the two suspects, and then get back to our job and we'll deal with this shit later. So there's a whole lot of aspects that I probably don't know about still, but that's just from what I've seen and what I know. I think that's what we're looking at. But if anybody cares, anybody watches, thank you. Comment or whatever. Let me know what you think. Hopefully somebody watches my video. I think my last video got 17 views. So I know there's 17 people that might watch this video, and thank you. All right, that's it.